The ageless sages in action during the most recent war against the children of the sun keeps casting its shadows on the magic community as a whole. While some of his loyal followers, including High Priestess Dome Maris, defend his position by claiming that he had good reasons not to intervene, detractors argue that he shouldn't have forced his decision on other witches by locking the portals, preventing them from joining the fight. I agree, that was not a smart move, ageless sage, even though I understand why you did it.
Charles, are you coming? We still have some errands to run for tomorrow's celebration. If you want to pick the crystals, you better come with us.
In a minute, Dantalion. Let me just finish reading this article in the Monthly Glimmer.
Alright, but hurry up. Mum's second sight is telling her that the midnight market is getting more crowded by the minute.
Now that the portals are open again, single witches and even entire families are moving out of the magic realm to start a new life elsewhere. For this reason, the long vacant strawed mansion in Forgotten Hollow, Windenburg, is currently being converted into an apartment building for witches. That was fast. I assumed at least one of old Vlad's vampire descendants was still living in that giant mansion overlooking Forgotten Hollow, but apparently not. If only we could see where this is going. Fortunately, the days surrounding the solstices have always been the most magical time of the year, so maybe, if I try to summon a vision. Oh my. I'm coming. Just a second. You are not Dantalion.
Well, that was not what I expected.
I'm sorry. After that Simone Ingalls movie we watched last month, I was certain you'd enjoy this one too. But if you didn't like it, just forget about it and I'll find you some other gift.
No, it's fine, Jaden. The tickets were a great idea. I didn't hate the movie, I just found it. Let's say, they should have toned down the romance scenes a notch.
Isn't that kind of the point of romantasy though? A mixture of romantic and fantastical elements?
Technically yes, but I think what Wilbica means is that it was rather imbalanced. Too little fantasy, too much romance.
Thanks, Esper.
You know, I was the same when I was your age. But you'll become more interested in that kind of stuff as you get older, which you just did, so it might happen any day now.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. It's a somewhat embarrassing subject, but it doesn't have to be.
Then maybe we should just change the subject and stop making the birthday girl uncomfortable.
Right. I hear Grande is back from vacation. He's very close to your family, Wilbica. Will he be celebrating with you today?
No, he already came by earlier today and dropped off a really sweet present. But he and his mother have some issues to work through, and she's forcing him to spend the rest of the day with her.
Doesn't sound like they're getting along very well.
That's putting it mildly.
A great opportunity to introduce his new alien girlfriend though. Tiamo told me. They met on Sulani, and now she came back here with Grande to experience Christmas for the first time in her life.
Which leads us right back to the subject of boyfriends and girlfriends. Lovely. If you can hear my thoughts, Mum, now would be a good time to turn everyone into garden gnomes. Or just me for all I care.
A show about witches fighting demons is exactly my cup of tea. Much better than witch hunters killing anything supernatural they come across.
Is that an allusion to our recent conflict with real witch hunters, or are you still salty about the other show's ending?
No idea what you're talking about. There is no other show.
I prefer this one too. There are a few things that bother me though.
And here comes the next episode of SetsunaMaiou the TV Critic.
How come ghosts are suddenly visible to everybody as shiny transparent apparitions, after the first season clearly established that only witches could see ghosts, and they appeared as regular humans without any special effects? I also don't like how they're turning the oldest sister into a martial arts expert, even though the youngest learned it first to make up for her lack of an offensive magic power. Why does every witch get only one power anyway? Seems extremely restricting for no reason.
The writers probably don't know all that much about real witches. But from a narrative standpoint, I guess the reason is that the protagonists being overpowered would severely diminish the threat of the demonic antagonists.
As if those were a real threat to begin with.
Wait until later seasons, when the witches kill demons left and right, barely even using the few active powers they have. Makes the showrunner's decision to kill off one of the sisters in the 3rd season finale even more questionable for how completely avoidable it was.
Hey, spoilers.
How do you know? Have you watched this show before?
How could I not? It's old as fuck. My children loved it when they were younger. My only criticism concerns the oldest sister's name, now that I know a real person with that name who happens to be a witch hunter. Changing that was the one good thing to come out of the crappy reboot.
There's a reboot?
Evangelina, honestly, time to crawl out from under that rock.
Well, excuse me, I've always been too preoccupied with the magic community to care about TV shows made by mortals. At least until we had a Netflix account. Given our current situation, I should probably get over my aversion to non-witches. There aren't going to be any at the winter solstice celebration tonight though, right?
Other than our mother, who is decorating our new hangout for the evening as we speak, and Leviathan, nope. Wilbica was going to invite some of her mortal friends to her birthday, but then decided to throw a separate party with them. Probably because she wasn't too keen on your judgment.
She'll change her mind about me when she sees my gift. But yeah, I'll try to be less judgmental in the future, okay?
I think the term you're looking for, my dear, is less racist.
Call it whatever you want, but can we keep watching? There's still time for a few more episodes before the celebration begins.
I should really go to Forgotten Hollow and help with the preparations.
You did your part by collecting the necessary crystals in the magic realm, and even made a gift out of one of them. Let someone else decorate the bar.
Yeah, let's watch some more. Can't wait to see your stupid faces when you see who bites the dust in the finale.
I wish they'd get a room. Or better yet, drive us home first and get a room afterwards. Seriously, couples are so disgusting. And I'm going to be late for the winter solstice celebration because of it.
My brother mentioned something about that. A party in the magic realm that's supposed to preserve peace between witches and vampires?
That was the idea. But now that the witches are fighting amongst themselves, the official event has been cancelled, and the vampires that have been invited are not coming after all. It's going to be just me and my extended family at All Hags Cemetery. You should come too.
If only you had told me sooner. One of my friends at Foxbury is getting married on New Year's Eve, and tonight is his bachelor party. I already told him I'd be there, otherwise I'd take your company over his any day.
I'd come with you, but I suppose I can't because it's boys' night out.
Actually, I'm pretty sure a few girls are going to be there too, just not as guests, but
strippers. Right. The good old cliché.
No minors allowed, or people who only look like minors. Sorry.
Oh well, you could say I'm used to it by now.
The others don't know about your true age, do they? Or else Mary Sue wouldn't have felt the need to explain the effects of puberty hormones to you.
It's not a story I go around telling everybody. That might make it seem like I'm proud of it.
You shouldn't be ashamed of it either. It's not your fault.
No matter whose fault it is, I'm still the one who has to live with it. Being an adult stuck in a child's body really sucks. But it does feel better to talk to people who know, and there's only a handful of those.
Well, you can always talk to me. You know that, right?
Yes. Thank you, Finn.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Espa. No, we were just admiring the view.
Okay then. If you're ready to go, so are we.
About fucking time.
You really have no idea? Isn't there anybody you could ask?
I could ask around, for sure, but you already know the answer. Common consensus among my friends and acquaintances is that you just showed up one day to wreak havoc all over the islands, and no one knows where you came from.
Sounds like me all right.
Would have been too good to be true if someone from Solani just happened to know Lev's parents. Olga might have learned something, but she's no longer around to tell us. So, Grande, it looks like you're our last hope.
Well, I'm not with the SCIA anymore, but I know a few things, and a few people, that might help. I'll find out what I can, just not today. I've been putting off this reunion with my mother for as long as possible, but if I don't pay her a visit today, she'll probably come here instead.
Who says you have to go at all? I still remember what happened on Thanksgiving, what she and her fairy lover did to that boy who became your father. and now is a little boy again, with no memories of the past couple of decades.
I know, I was there myself. No need for a recap.
Just saying, that house is full of nasty surprises. Makes you wonder what kind of terrible revelation she has in store for you today.
Today I am the surprise, and hopefully not a nasty one.
Wait and see, but I won't let her ruin this for me as well.
We shouldn't hold you up any longer then. Let's go, Lev. We have our own party to attend.
Yes, but keep me up to date, Grande. Now that I know how to send texts on a mobile phone.
Look how pretty everything is. Remember when we came here together earlier this month, and you said I shouldn't expect to see this neighborhood in a Christmas mood because witches and vampires don't celebrate it like mortals do? Well, at least they celebrate the winter solstice.
Not everybody got the memo though. None of the other houses look any different than usual.
They never do. Most of our neighbors are so tired of those old witch traditions, Forgotten Hollow might as well be called Sleepy Hollow.
The old strawed mansion can be forgiven. They're turning it into an apartment building, but no one is living there yet. At least that's what it says in the December edition of the Monthly Glimmer.
They got it wrong. Somebody is already living in the tower at least.
You're reading the Monthly Glimmer.
Yes, ever since my younger daughter helped me get the story of my life published in it. The article about the strawed mansion was written by Eva as well.
Does she also write about local crime news and the alarming lack of civil courage? Because I'm being harassed by a toddler right in front of 2 adults' eyes, and no one gives a shit. Save the groping for your dates with Amara, Loki.
It's Amara.
Speak of the devil.
I hope she is not cancelling.
Same here. Give my old friend my regards. I'll go check if we have enough beverages.
No, don't leave me alone.
What do you mean, Henford has disappeared?
It's really strange. They wanted to go shopping for crystals last night. Henford told Dantalion he was getting ready, but when they went to his room a few minutes later, he was just gone. And no one has seen him since.
Your poor family can't catch a break with all those missing person cases. What now?
My daughter is trying to locate him using visions, but that ability keeps failing her since her husband's death. It's probably best if I stay with her, even though I can't do much to help.
Are you at the Duplantiers' house right now? I'm coming over.
Me too, before this innocence faking little spider monkey suffocates me.
Happy birthday, Wilbica. I hope I'll be back soon, but if not, don't wait for me.
If it's for a date with Amara, we'll gladly excuse your absence.
Love you too, Dad. Now go grant your oral cavity the pleasures of imported Sudanese goods.
Go do. What?
He told me, in his own very elegant, sophisticated manner of speaking, to suck your dick.
Oh.
Can you believe how he talks to his own father? That's my boy.
With you as the father, anything is possible.
Say, Nate, how much do you really know about Wilbica?
She's Tiamo's younger sister, a witch, attends Foxbury with my brother. Why? Is there a reason for this strange question?
Just something I overheard her and Finn talk about at the cinema today. An adult stuck in the body of a child. Was she referring to herself?
Well, she and Tiamo once used a spell to switch their ages, so she could watch the mayor's porn movie at City Hall. It turned him into a child, and her into an adult, and she introduced herself to Finn as her cousin Wilma.
That can't be all though, can it? It becomes stranger the more I think about it. How can she be attending university anyway?
I suppose she's a child prodigy. You have to admit, she is quite mature for someone her age. Apart from her blatant disgust for anything romantic or sexual, but that could just be an early hint at asexuality or something.
No, I don't think so. There has to be more to it.
Happy birthday.
So how old are you now? 28 or 13?
Very funny.
It's a serious question. I don't get to celebrate my birthday next year because February won't have 29 days, so I want to enjoy yours as much as I can. But since your appearance doesn't match your true age.
Yeah, right. Perhaps we should talk about what kind of cake this is, or what those crystals are.
It's alright, Wilbica. We know the truth.
What truth? I never told anyone in your family anything.
No, but I did. And before you judge me for it, wait until you see our gift for you. I couldn't have done it without Eva, so I had to tell her the truth, otherwise it would have been impossible to explain to her what exactly I needed her help for.
It's jewelry.
Not just any jewelry. A so-called Cinderella necklace. The ruby is imbued with magic, technically a curse, because that's what my family specializes in, but let's not get hung up about semantics. It will turn you into an adult. The spell will wear off eventually, but can be recharged in the moonlight.
The crystal also contains an outfit I designed specifically for you, and you'll change into it automatically while your body is changing. I just hope I got your size right. Want to give it a try?
What do I have to do?
Simply touch it and say, "Bibbidi bobbidi boo."
You're fucking with me. Right? No? Well. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Oh wow. It worked.
And how? You look really pretty, Wilbica.
Mother, Evangelina, what were you thinking, giving her a gift like that? Now ours will pale in comparison.
Definitely. If I had known about this, I would have gotten her a pack of condoms instead, because a certain fellow student won't be able to keep his hands to himself when he sees her like this.
Gross. You're reading way too much into my friendship with Finn.
Who says I was talking about him? Friendship, my ass.
Ignore my brother, he's just delirious because he hasn't had enough blood lately. Anyway, thank you. This is an awesome gift.
You should open mine next. Complete coincidence, but it's a pair of earrings, and I think they'll go nicely with your new necklace.
Tiamo, do you think this magical ruby can turn people into anyone, or just older versions of themselves? Because if someone could use it to transform into my mother or father, I would at least know what they look like. That would make it easier to find them.
You heard Grande. Surely he'll come up with something. We just need to be a little patient.
I'll ask the 13 witches for advice when this is over. If you had ever told me how much you want to meet them, I would have done so sooner. We'll find them somehow. But for now, let's celebrate Wilbica's birthday and the winter solstice.
Sit down, Mother. You're making me nervous. Your friend will be here in less than 5 minutes, and he's bringing his familiar along. My second sight isn't worth much these days, but it still works for minor predictions like that at least.
I'm glad they're coming. Loki and Bitch helped you find me when I had been kidnapped by the witch hunters. Maybe they can help us find Charles now.
Unless they're the reason for our misfortunes in the first place.
How so?
Have you not noticed it yourself? Ever since you started hanging out with that Loki fellow, my son was kidnapped, my husband killed, your hometown attacked by werewolves, there was a war that ended with our excommunication from the magic realm, and now Charles is missing.
This so-called excommunication was your own idea, Mum. Loki had nothing to do with it, or with any of the other things that have gone wrong.
Perhaps it's not just him, but his entire family. Everything was going fine in our lives before the Mamminis showed up.
In your life, maybe. I'm still trying to find out what others even mean when they say they're fine.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Calm down, both of you. Maybe Loki can help, maybe not, but either way, tonight is the longest night of the year. Let's not make it even longer with pointless arguments.
13 witches, hear my call. The winter solstice is lovely and all. We celebrated this meaningful date, and Wilbica's birthday presents were great. But my son-in-law is out of luck, because his family is elusive as fuck. Give me a hint at where to find the parents who left their child behind.
I'm not with the SCIA anymore, but I know a few things and a few people that might help.
And if the timeline or reality itself had been altered, how would we even know?
I can't say too much about it, but the SCIA has its ways to keep track of the timeline.
Okay. Thanks, I guess. If I'm supposed to take this vision literally, then. The SCIA uses some kind of clock to detect temporal anomalies around the world, and that same device can somehow tell us more about Leviathan's parents as well?
I'm sure you'll figure it out. Some visions are worth taking seriously. Others, not so much.
You are not Dantalion. You're Lorenzo, are you Mammini's ex-husband?
Well done. Just what I expect from the son of the High Witch of Clairvoyance. I've been watching you for quite some time, and it would be for the best if you stopped using your gift.
You mean because of the vision I just had, the chaos it showed me? That must be your doing then. A consequence of the wild goose chase you sent Talia on. I told her in Salvadorada that it's not the 13 witches talking to her during those meditation sessions.
That was your first mistake, but calling it a wild goose chase is also wrong. A wild goose chase is a pointless endeavor that doesn't lead anywhere. The artifacts I've had Aya collect will be used in a ritual to change the world.
But not for the better. You can't fool me. I've seen it all.
It's sad that you think so, but an old man like you really should know when to keep his opinions to himself. Don't take this personally, Lord Henford. I can't blame you for being a little bit afraid of changes. It's human nature. But you'll realize that the changes I'm bringing are for the better. Until then, I need you to stay out of my business.